Hey guys, so you might recognize where we are. This is the basement stairwell at Youth Center. You can see there's the kitchen right there, and then when you come down the stairs, it's awfully dark in here. Well, up until now, well, I guess a couple days ago, we have pretty much come down here and then would have to manually click on lights, walking around. But after Dan and I got some wiring figured out, we now have there's a light switch right there. Now when we hit that, we get all of the, well, these ones I think are 40s. These look like they're from the Rex because they're octagonal. These ones might be 50s, but now all of the ceiling lights in both the front and second room come on with that switch. So it's really nice. All you gotta do is, come right down, flip that, and then you pretty much have light in all three rooms. So anyway, I wanted to show you guys some updates that I've done. First of all, this is the front room. Not a whole lot different. We do still have the two shop lights that can be toggled on and off, and the three fans are the same. But you might notice I did put in different light bulbs in the old sockets. I actually went with some vintage LED Edison style. Well, I guess vintage style, obviously they're brand new, but antique looking light bulbs, which I thought was kind of neat. Given that these sockets are, 80 years old. So I thought that was kind of a neat idea. I think they're 100 watt equivalent, so honestly it is, even with that off, it's pretty bright in here still. So, okay. And then moving on to this room, I did the same thing with these ceiling sockets. When Dan was here, there was just like a hodgepodge of CFLs and incandescents, and whenever we had that worked. But I did the same thing in here. Went with those vintage Edison bulbs, which I thought was kind of cool. I actually think it looks a little less dismal with warm white. They're not like super duper yellow, but they're definitely on the warmer side. But yes, and you might notice in the background, there are some more fans. Well, here's the same original, the old rusty 1991 PSC original. Well, tonight I added two more fans. And yes, this is the infamous antique brass original that was thrown away at Fanimation last year. If you know, you know. But it is a 1983 two-speed R&M shaded pull original. It was just the motor. In fact, literally everything else are either from parts that I had or parts that I had to find. It has I think the canopy was actually white originally. I painted that antique brass down rod. The blade irons were actually bright brass originally, and I painted those antique brass as well to kind of match the rest. And honestly, I think it came out pretty good. Obviously I added the light kit, which I think looks pretty cool on it. So we'll go ahead and turn that on first. There it is with the lights. And the blades are just some random, I don't even know what those came off of, just random set I had. But they are Hunter blades, so it looks good on here. Probably not gonna show up real well, but serial starts with 38, so 1983. I believe this was toward the end for two-speed originals. I want to say it was 84 or 85 when they started going with three-speed, so pretty neat. So yeah, I'll go ahead and turn it on. I think I accidentally put the speeds in the wrong order. I usually go high, low, or high, medium, low, depending however many speeds there are, but I actually accidentally put low first, so it's actually low, high. There is low, which keep in mind it's more like a medium since it's a two-speed. And despite being in the garbage, really pretty nice runner. Hums a little bit, but I know some of these 70s, 80s era originals are not known to be super quiet. Definitely already moving some air. The light kit I actually got from a thrift store recently. It was missing the center globe, so that's just one I found laying around here, but the outer four other ones that came with it I think it looks kind of nice. All right, and then let's go to high speed. And it absolutely flies. And surprisingly well balanced too. Just fresh oil in it. And yeah, it's running really nice. So okay, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this back to low, which again, 2-speed, and it's non-reversible, which I believe that was toward the end for that as well. I think believe they came out with reverse in like 84, 85. I mean, meaning like electrically reversible, not, you know, reverse error adapter. I don't know what this originally had for irons. It's possible it would have had adapter or reverse error, but I mean, I tend to prefer standard, plus that was the first thing I found anyway, so that worked out. Yeah, really nice runner. And then why don't I go ahead and turn on this original as well. In fact, I'll put that one on medium so it's kind of roughly about the same speed. Double originals. So yeah, pretty neat. And then back here, there's another one of these makes an appearance. This is another one of those Ellingtons that used to be in the sanctuary. Let's see. So the this one I had to kind of get creative with the mounting. This is actually down rod, mounting bracket, and canopy off of, I believe it was a Harbor Breeze Lakeside 2. It was one of those ones that I parted out that was a trash find recently, so that ended up being a really good match for this. Because obviously we still have the down rod and original hardware in the sanctuary for those JCPenney fans. I believe this was the one that was in the sanctuary, like stage left toward the stage. I think that was this one, because I seem to remember this being the other one that still had the pull chain. So this, because I know there was one that didn't, and that was the stage right. So I think this was stage left. If you're interested, but I actually went with the red side of the blades on this one. In fact, here I'll turn on the light so you can see it. I went with the red side of the blades on this one, A, just to be different, and B, they're warped the other way pretty noticeably, so I figured this will kind of even them out. I generally prefer like the regular oak side, but for this one I went with the, I guess, cherry or whatever you want to call that reddish kind of wood. So it's kind of neat. And then I went with tulips on this one. Again, just a little bit different. But yeah, I got it cleaned up as best as possible, and surprisingly, despite all the blade warpage, it actually is pretty well balanced. So all right, let's go through the speeds on this one. And if you remember, these are not like super crazy powerful or anything, but pretty decent basement fan. This area used to be, we think there used to be a boiler here actually. In fact, that was probably the disconnect for it. And there's the feed for the panel in the other room. It's pretty quiet, at least. In fact, it's quieter than the originals. And it's a tight fit. It's pretty close on all sides. I mean, we probably got about maybe 6-7 inches there, maybe a few inches there, and it is only a couple inches below that beam, but actually, yeah, fits like a glove. Okay, and let's go to medium. There's a lot of debris on the ground here, so I kind of dodge that. It's possible these things might need new capacitors, because they all, I seem to remember them all being kind of slow, or maybe they're just kind of underpowered. I'm not really sure, but despite their cheapness, I kind of like these things, these Ellingtons. Definitely a Menards special. Honestly, the medium is more like a, honestly looks more like a low. Like maybe like a cheap fan low. All right, and let's go to high. Now this one, the bearings aren't as good. I think they're nice and smooth. They're not stiff or anything, but you can kind of hear that like worn bearing sound, because I think this one must have gotten more use. But it's not dry, just well worn. And yeah, I'm really surprised by the balance, because the blades are pretty irregularly warped. And honestly, the two Ellingtons I actually leave on high when I'm not here, because I mean that honestly isn't much different than a medium normally. So these run pretty good on high. So, okay, and then we'll go back to the front here so we can kind of see everything. So yes, as of right now, we have 3 fans in the front room, and we only had the white originally. So pretty cool. I'll probably wait and do a mass spin down video maybe when I have somebody else here to help me with that. But I just wanted to show these. So I'm pretty happy with it. It's a lot brighter, obviously. And I did pretty much, I think I've just about finished getting the rest of the cobwebs off the ceiling too, so it's not so dusty. All right, and then last but not least, I don't believe there's anything really different in here. This is the back room. I do have a plan to get one more fan in here, probably about right here. Hint, hint. Oh, and I wanted to put an Edison bulb in this one, but unfortunately it won't clear the fan because it's such a close, it actually would hit the blades, and I guess I was too lazy to take the fan down just for that. So this one will stay LED, I suppose, or just, you know, snow cone LED. Oh, I guess one small update on this one. Since I was messing with the Ellington blades anyway earlier, I actually swapped out that one blade that was really badly warped on this one for another one. Because again, these all got mixed up anyway, so they're probably not even original sets, but I found one that's a lot straighter, so at least it's not so, didn't have that one oddball. I think it's running a little bit faster, honestly. A little bit better airflow. So, and yeah, as you can see, this one has the hook side and ribbed glass. In case you didn't notice, this is actually a Bakelite socket. I'll see if I can find some other like kind of antique-ish bulb maybe for this one that's smaller, so that it'll clear the blades. But for now it works. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna probably do one more fan right here. Are very nice probably about 80-year-old panels that are working really, really well. And of course the mighty clamp light that was the only light source in this whole basement for probably 20 to 30 years, so something to be said for that. So, all right, well, I guess that about covers it. Yeah, there'll probably be a couple more fan updates, as we may put one in the corner back there as well. But I figured this was a nice update to share, so thanks for watching, and bye FanStick.